Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and it's Saturday. Slashback Saturday. This is a segment created by my good buddy, Joe the Horror Man, where he picks a theme, and we watch a slasher movie based on that theme, and do a short review. This week is horror sequels. And while I didn't particularly care for my choice last week, this week I more than made up for it. I picked Hayride 2, which I was actually talking about on the stream a few weeks ago, and Joe assured me that there was a theme coming up in a few weeks that would cover this film, because I really wanted to do this for my first letter of my name, Horrific Nightmares. This is the movie that I was going to originally pick, but instead I did High Lane. Now, Hayride 2 is a 2015 film, which runs approximately 92 minutes, and is written and directed by Teron Parsons. Now, he was responsible for the original Hayride and some shorts. Now, this stars Sherry Eakin as Amanda. She was in Hollow Ground, Santa Jaws, The Atoning, and Hayride. It stars Jeremy Sand as Corey. He had a bit part in Deepwater Horizon. He was in The Duel, and of course the original Hayride. And Jeremy Ivy as Stephen Summers. He was in Tangled Web, and of course Hayride. So basically they are reprising their roles from the original Hayride. Now, this also stars Richard Tyson, who is basically, not a scream king, but he's in a lot of independent horror. The thing that you would know him from is the bad guy from Kindergarten Cop, among other movies. But he also produced this film as well as the first one, and he's been in Big Bad Wolf, Playing with Dolls, movies like that. Now, this movie grossed $2,551 worldwide, which is not very good. I hope they did better in DVD sales. Now, a majority of this movie, which is one of the reasons why I like it so much, deals with loss and survivor's guilt. After the events of the first film, Hayride, Pitchfork is taken in an ambulance, supposedly dead, and the survivors of the first movie are taken to a hospital. They get to the hospital. Pitchfork is on his way, I guess, to the morgue or the coroner or what have you, and he comes back to life and kills the people in the ambulance and makes his way to the hospital, where he is picking off everyone, one by one. That's where I'm going to leave it. It's a very simple plot. The thing I like about this movie is that its realistic portrayal of the guilt and loss. You don't normally find that in films. You could tell that the writer and director was very influenced by Halloween and Halloween 2, of course. Because, of course, the second one takes place in a hospital. Most of the film actually does. Now, rather than just getting right into the action and, killing this person, killing that person, there's plenty of, there's a decent body count in this film. He basically kills anyone who gets in his way, which is cool. But a lot of the beginning to the middle of the film deals with the loss of the first film. It's told in flashbacks. So you get flashbacks of the first movie, so you don't necessarily need to have seen Hayride to see Hayride 2, although it does help. But it is explained enough in the flashbacks what happened in the first movie. Now, the acting is decent. It's not great, but it's decent the way it was in the first one. The tone is kept pretty much the same. which has a lot to do with the writer and director being the same as the first film. And I love this movie. I do. I like both of these films. When I originally did my Slashback Saturday for Hayride Part 1, I said that I much preferred the second one to the first one. That's not to say that I didn't like the first one. I like the first one a lot, but the second one is a far superior film. It's like, since the director and the writer were so inexperienced, I think what he lacked in the first film, he made up for in the second. You have a learning curve in the first one, and I think he's pretty much coming into his own by the second film. And boy, do I hope that there's a third one, because this movie is fantastic. Now, of course, this is not going to be for everyone. This is kind of along the lines of Pitchfork. Of course, this is Pitchfork, but there's also a movie called Pitchfork about a killer with a pitchfork on his hand. But these are the type of characters I would like to see get maybe a little bit bigger of a budget and become a horror icon, because I just like the story and I think that the movies are fun. So, like I said, hopefully this gets a third installment in the film so it can be a bona fide trilogy. And I don't know, I'll just keep my fingers crossed. Definitely check out what Joe picked and what our theme is for next week. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.